Um, Thanks for putting up with everything that we do. So people, there's still so many people that can't or won't or whatever come in, so gotta keep being live. Anyways, so we really are here. And I really want to give you a Tuesday tune-up, the aftermath of the summer solstice and a solar eclipse. We really are integrating now the energy. So today could be highly emotional. And then Venus is turning direct. And Venus is in Gemini. So really one of the things that's being activated is, how do we think about ourselves? How do we think about ourselves? Sometimes it's really obvious, sometimes you can really hear. One of the things hey Julie and Carrie, one of the things I think about myself is I'm stupid. That's a thing from when I was really young. And it's not that I don't think I'm intelligent. I do stupid things, and I really would say that to me a lot when I was little. And unfortunately, it really went into my young adulthood, like in my teens and 20s. A lot of the way I would speak to myself about my first husband and being even involved with him was like, what a fucking idiot. Who does that? Which is really mean, you know? And I didn't realize how mean it is. So, you know, because it's an inner dialogue. It's between me and me. And we're going to do some healing on our voice current, because the voice of God is your voice. What happens is we start to feel like God feels the way we talk to ourselves, without some really heavy-duty healing and correction. Because, you know, I joke about it, but it's true. You know, when you really have those God moments and God talks to you, it's not like, you know, Yul Brynner comes on, or Morgan Freeman, you know, I mean, he's the voice of God, right? It isn't Morgan Freeman, it's your voice. So we gotta be careful how we use it. Really careful. And that's what we do in Kundalini Yoga. There are several things. First of all, when we chant mantras, we start to systematically use our voice in a very productive and healing way. Then, the mantra itself starts to unload the subconscious and put us in a trajectory that we have a chance of speaking nice to ourselves, right? And then also, there is a rhythm to chanting. And that's why a lot of times when we go into a chant, I may play songs with chants and all that, but when it comes to chanting, I want something that is really clear and is just going to stay on the money. Satnam, Waheguru, Satnam, you know, rhythmic. Don't have to think about the tone. You don't have to go, hey, you could just be Satnam, Waheguru, Satnam, okay? The point is, it's rhythm. Rhythm is a big part of Kundalini. Rhythm in the breath, rhythm in the body, rhythm in the mantra, because we have an interior rhythm. There is a rhythm in the way we talk to ourselves. There's a rhythm in the way we live, and that rhythm often is dysfunctional. Like, there's a rhythm to setting yourself up to be depressed or angry. If you watch, you will tend to do certain things. Like for me, I will begin to isolate. I really need mantra or music, something playing in the background. It will be dead silent. I will probably do something difficult on the computer that will only piss me off. And now I have created a perfect storm for that. God, you're such an idiot. And even if now I say, AT&T's the idiot, since you are me and I am you, there's no getting away from being mean and who you're really being mean to. So we go after it. And then it's precarious because we need to be genuine. If you're really angry, you have to acknowledge, I'm angry. If you're really sad, you have to be sad. But there is a way to have a container and to benefit from the energy and learn from it and heal rather than to wallow. So sometimes what we do is we're just abusing ourselves with a negative emotion, right? We need to have a different process, and that's what Kundalini does. Sometimes during these Kriyas, during this class, lots will be worked on. Sometimes you'll have an insight like, oh, but sometimes it'll be later on in the day where it just pops in. Or sometimes what I find is I just do it different. And I'm just like, how'd that happen? And it's because little by little, this amazing Kundalini yoga practice is lightening the load in my subconscious. It's lightening the load. Now that's really important because the subconscious, unbeknownst to you, magnetizes your frontal lobe, which puts energy into what is called the arc line, which then puts energy into the auric field. That's important because the auric field is like a neon sign, or you might think of it as a strobe that you put into the sky, you know, come buy this car, only it's like, come pick on me, right? Or it can be, come love me. I'm really good to be around. So when we start to clean that up, what happens too is we have a better receptor, because they say within a blink of an eye, 1,000 different thoughts are passing through your mind. Obviously, you can't manage that. You can manage about 7 to 11, depending on your brain capacity. The rest, which is a ton, the mind can't handle it and just shoves it down into the subconscious. Now you think, well, how could it be 1,000? Because, so each of you has 7 or 11. We are in each auric field, so I'm picking up on all of you. This building has pheromones and thought forms from all kinds of people that have been here before. There's my opinions going on about what's going on out here, that's going on here. You can see as you start to layer all of this, and inside of you, how even your liver is working, your body's working, all those require, even though it's not a conscious thought, it's a mechanism of your mind that's running the whole body system. Fucking shitload of stuff going on, right? So the mind, in order to be sane, has got to like kind of make a rapid choice. That's why when we think about racism and judgment, we are racist and judgmental. Part of it is really fucked up because being lied to about our history and whatever and blah, blah, blah. There's that, but there's another thing. The mechanism of the brain has got to decide very quick when somebody's walking down the street, am I safe? Based on whatever's happened before. So if you have had a lot of circumstance where I'm not safe with an older male, then as soon as Roger walks in, stuff goes on. Even if you're trying to heal it. Does that make you just an asshole? No. But it does mean you have to be cognizant and start watching. There is no way not to be that way because the mind is always deciphering information. It's deciding, should I go left, should I go right? It is not emotional, it's not mean. That is about survival. That's about, can I get this human from point A to point B without getting killed? It's really as simple as that. So this is why we do this practice, because at the end of the day, it's yoga of awareness. One of the biggest things that we activate is our vagus nerve, like when we stick out our tongue. The vagus nerve is called this wandering nerve, and it wanders down into our gut. It does lots of things. I do a whole thing on the vagus nerve in teacher training. It's very amazing and important. The vagus nerve also immediately alerts you to something's wrong. Now we can do deep breaths. So like, let's say I'm trying to heal my thing with men that are older. Then I can practice. Roger rocks in, I know I'm safe. I feel the feeling. And I start to breathe through it, and I start to be aware, and now I can change it, okay? Maybe sometimes that's true, but it's not always, and now I'm aware, and I can feel safe and enjoy this interaction. Now, I see a homeless guy out there doing heroin, which I have. I don't need to take a deep breath and try to feel safe. There's nothing fucking safe about that, right? So that is still good, and the mind's going, hey, something's going on. The whole thing is awareness. Awareness. Awareness of what we are thinking and feeling. And this moon that we just went through, this amazing 0 degrees Cancer sun and Cancer moon. the last kind of leg of everything we went through in the last 18 months. We're gonna have one more big hit on the 4th of July, which I think is freaking, like, God is like, oh, have I got America's fucking number here. It's on our birthday, okay? So, and I don't know how I missed that. I was talking about before, like, we're born on July the 4th. Like, look up the chart. Oh my God, the Americans chart. It's not that it's bad, but it has its challenges, and you can see. So anyways, I predict July 4th is going to be a humdinger. But, you know, we need a humdinger, like, we do need a humdinger. I think what's going to happen is the majority, whether you're Republican or Democrat or atheist or believe in God, the majority of human beings are going to relate to their hearts and what they value most, which is loving each other and having a sense of peace and safety, regardless to what we have to sort out, regardless of the troubles we've obviously created that we have to systematically heal. But we cannot go on with this violence. That is not who we are, and we have to find a different way. The problem is, people like me, I'm not going to say a thing. And there's millions of people like me. And I've been asking myself, what is that? I think at the end of the day, it might even go back to that original wound. I'm stupid. I feel like I don't know. And what's coming up is you have to be willing to try and do something to be a part of this healing, whether you know if it's right or not. To me, it feels like such a big problem, and I'm just so tiny. What difference does it make? But if every single person is saying that, or most, because when you look at the riots, and what they're angry about is good, what we're doing isn't, right? But when you look at what's happening, it really isn't that many people. Where's all the rest of the people? You know, they're afraid, they put boards on their businesses and they just pray, like, oh God, please, you know, help me just get through this, right? I think we have to be more than that. We have to be more than that, and I don't have any answers. But that's why we do this practice. You know, I tend to feel like one of the most important things for us is to show up where you are. So when there's a situation where you can learn, you know, about your white fragility, ask, learn, especially with somebody, you know, of color or that is brown that you can trust. Learn, ask, change, heal. That is the best way. You know, it's real time. When there's something going on and maybe you can stick up, or maybe you can hand some money to somebody who's homeless, or you, whatever, real time, right here, do it instead of looking the other way. You know, obviously with the big things, we have to shut off, you know, we have to shut off the TV. We have to do that because it's too big. But you can't shut off your life. Or maybe your child comes and has whatever. That's your opportunity to engage with the energy. So we're going to do a kriya that's called relieving your inner anger. And I really feel like we should label that relieving your inner fear. Because fear is either going to make you depressed, confused, or angry. All of those kind of, you know, not all of us get angry and go, wah! You know, some of us get depressed. One of the biggest, and even what I just said, one of the biggest clues of your depression is you're confused. Like when I just said that about what's going on, you could tell I'm so shut down and afraid. I can't even know what I might be able to do about that because I'm depressed about it. I didn't even know that. I'm just saying this right now. So confusion, inability to decide is a big one. And then you just hold space for yourself. You do some Kundalini. We're going to also work with this mantra Satnam and Satanama. We've been doing this Mahanraj in the training. We're going to do a short version of it at the end of this class. It really gives you like a turbojet in your mind. It's very effective on cleaning your mind. And then we will couple it with the addiction meditation. And addiction meditation goes with Satanama. Satanama, I want you to remember one thing about it. It is a cycle of change. Cycle of change. If there is something that you don't want, like I was oh my God, I was trying to catch up with the teacher training and send them all these freaking things. And I did too much this morning. I always do this. We've discussed this. I wake up at 5:30 and still somehow I'm behind at 9. Whatever. So I was that, and then I spilled my green drink on me. Lovely. Oh, love my life. Anyway, I am pissed. I was pissed. And I'm gonna go get in the car, and Tony's like, babe, chant with your own voice. Sa-ta-na-ma. And I almost went, you know? Because when you're in it, right? So here's me, right? I don't want to fucking Satanama. I am mad. My life does suck. I'm going with this. But I didn't do it. I got in the car. Satanama. And it literally, because we've been doing it so much, started going. It felt like that, like the universe was like a bulldozer going boom, boom, boom. Just moving. Because here's the thing, if you get right on it, I hadn't really sunk in and bought all the way into my anger. You know what I mean? It was just, it was still a choice right then. I was toying with it. You know, I could really get in a pissy if I want. But instead, I did something else. Then I can think clearly. It doesn't mean, you know, honestly, in that situation, I don't need to be angry about spilling a green drink. Right? So that isn't actually even genuine anger. The anger would be far deeper than that, but that would trigger. And I really don't have time for that right now. I need to go teach a class. So what do I do instead? Sa-ta-na-ma. The cycle of change. Changing my behavior. Changing my energy so I can be here and be of service to you and to me. So I'm just so, whenever I do teacher training, because I am in so much in the beginning, 4 days of it, I fall in love again. So I'm romancing Kundalini right now. It's like, hallelujah. I love this shit. It really works. All right, rub your hands together and take a deep inhale and sigh. Inhale deep. Exhale. Bring your thumbs into your sternum and roll your shoulders back. Tune in with me. Inhale. Squeeze the root lock, bring in the navel, tuck the chin, gaze into the third eye. Exhale. The next chant we chant is for protection. Inhale deep. Agde name, Jugagde name, Satgde name, Siddhi. Siddhi Gurudeva exhale. And just feel the mantra and tuning in. The magic of Kundalini has started with breath and mantra. So today we're working with Satanama and Satnam. Roll onto your hands and knees for cat and cow. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Sat, Nam. Sat, Nam. Mentally chanting Sat, Nam. Sat, Nam. Good job. Keep up. Keep up, moving that spine. Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. Sat Nam, moving that spine. Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. Inhale, drop the spine. Exhale, press it up. Come to neutral spine. Take a deep inhale. Inside. Bring your torso up. Sit on your calves and heels. Bring your forefingers in front, thumbs in back. Inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Sat Nam. Mentally chanting. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Inhale to center. Exhale, put your hands down onto your lap and just go within. So when we add G, it's like we're glorifying, we're adding the glory to something. Satanam G. Really celebrating that the Guru is you. The Sat is the changeless part of God that exists inside of us that never, ever changes. Let's begin this Kriya to relieve inner anger. So you're going to start off on your back. So lay down on your back. And the first part of the Kriya is you're going to pretend you're snoring. Snore away. Those of you who feel bad about your snoring, this is a time to really celebrate it.
Snore loud.
Snore loud, exactly. Absolutely snore loud. Lying on your back, pretending you're snoring. Keep up. Doing great. All right, put your hands underneath your hips. And I want you to raise your legs 6 inches off the ground. Keep your head down. Breathe long and deep. 6 inches off the ground. Laying on your back, straighten the legs, point the toes and raise them 6 inches and hold. This exercise balances fear and anger. It puts pressure on the navel point in order to balance the entire system. Keep up. Raising your legs 6 inches, the head is down. Hands maybe under the hips to support. Just breathe. Balance the fear and the anger. Breathing into this mantra. Vaheguru Satnam. Keep up. All right, remain in this posture. Stick your tongue out and do a breath of fire through the mouth. Keep the legs up. You're staying the body the same, but you're just moving to a different breath. Keep up. Keep up. Keep that tongue out. Feet are 6 inches off the ground. Keep up. 10 more seconds. Keep up. All right, inhale, lower. You're on your back, the legs are down, relax, relax. Okay, I want you to now take your legs 90 degrees, so that's straight up. And your hands are by your side. And I want you to pound the ground. out your tongue. Breathe a deep breath through your mouth. Exhale out your nose. Keep the tongue out. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Stick the tongue out. Keep up. So you're on your back, those knees are just resting, the hands are by your side, stick your tongue out, inhale to that, exhale out your nose. Good job. Stay with it. Makes your life home. Healing those bad programs that we've allowed to go on way too long. Really standing up for a victory. The victory of being authentic and of loving ourselves totally and wholly for who we are. Now is the time for love. Love starts right here, right now. Keep the breath going. Really breathing into trusting the Divine Mother and holding that prayer. Whatever needs to go, go. Whatever needs to come, come. I am you, you are me, we are one, all is well. Rock up and down on your knees, come to seated. Onto your calves, but then spread the calves a little bit apart, and I want you to sit in between the calves. This is called celibate pose. If you can't do it,
how are you sitting?
So I spread my legs a little bit, and then I sit in between it. If this is super hard, you can put a little pillow there, okay? Cross your hands over your shoulders, your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your head to the ground or as close as you can. Inhale up. Just get into and love trout. Satnam Waheguru. Moving back and forth. Just this. Sitting in celibate pose. Really opens up the pelvic area and the hip joints. The hips often are where we hold the trauma that we feel from our childhood for our mother and our father. By doing this kind of work, we can energetically bring that up and heal it so that our relationships real time feel different, can feel better. Breathe. Just this. You got it, you're doing good. Now at the end here, I want you to go as fast as you can for 30 seconds. Bowing to your life, bowing to the challenges, bowing to the confusion, bowing to the pain, bowing to the answer, bowing to the healing. Bow, bow, bow. Inhale up. Exhale, bring your hands up to your lap. Bring your legs out in front. Ooh, that feels good, huh? And now we're going to give ourselves a little beating. It's going to feel good now. I want you to go counting down the inner legs, the outer legs. The hips. The tummy, the solar plexus, the chest, down underneath your armpits, down your ribs. On top of your thighs. Good. Coming into easy pose and just take it in. Just this. Good. I want you to stand up now. And you're going to simply hang. So you want to have a flat back. Hang your arms. And now we're going to chant Guru Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru. We're just hanging.
Holding over and staying there.
Yeah. That's it.
Are we chanting
Yes.
out loud?
Yes. Das Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru, Guru Wahe Guru, Guru Ram Das Guru, Guru going to do Set Kriya in easy pose. So since we usually do it in rock, it's asking us to do it in easy pose. Bring our hands into a clasp. The index finger, Jupiter, is going to point straight up. Ladies, you're going to have your left thumb on top. Guys, you're going to have the right. Hands come straight overhead. And let's chant. Sat. No. The navel comes in on Sat. Releases No. Sat. No. Close your eyes. Gaze into the third eye. Sat. Nam, Sat, 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 Nam, Sat. Divine Mother uses her magic rolling pin, rolling us out, working out all the knots, smoothing us out, making us big and spacious, clear and yummy. Just this. Alright, take a tiny rest, lay onto your back, just for a moment.
Where am I?
Yes. Only for it's a Savasana tease. But you should, most Kriyas, almost always, when you do Sat Kriya, ask you to rest. Rest in the Satnam, rest in the truth. Okay, so we're going to do the Mahanraj. You can do this for 7, 11, or 31. We've been doing it for 31 in the training. We're going to do 7.
You're going to do 7?
We're going to do 7 minutes. Now, here's how it goes. We start off all together going sa, ta, na, ma. At 1 minute, I'm going to say inhale. And then you keep going. No, we're going to do out loud. Now here's the caveat. You say it when you want to. I'm going to hold steady. But you want to do it every other, you want to do it all the time, you want to do it in your mind, whatever it is. And there may be times where I stop. So it becomes now what's really good about this is it really works on your subconscious and your ego, because you start like, should I say it, should I not? And like that Divine Mother Baker, she's got that rolling pin on you, and she's just going to roll all of that. It's all that second guessing, and am I doing it right? And all that shit is just being smoothed out through this, okay? And Satanama, the cycle of change. Why? Sa, birth. Ta, life. Da, na, death. Ma, rebirth. In your life, if something has been going on and on, the chances are it's been long since dead and you're still freaking carrying it around, right? This mantra helps you let go what needs to go. You know, when I do the death practice, I always make this analogy. This is very important. When a tree is losing its leaves, let's think about an oak tree. And those leaves are green and heavy with water and nutrients. And as you go through spring, then summer, as fall begins to hit, that trunk starts to really take the energy from its leaves. That's why the leaves exist, right? And as the energy is pulled from the leaves, they become orange and yellow, eventually brown. What happens when a leaf is brown? It is so light. There's nothing heavy anymore. The wind blows and poof, it goes right off. Most things in your life are this way. Mostly, when something has ended and it has died, the energy has been sucked off, and it's only your ego that's keeping it there. If we went with the flow, it would just easily slip away. So that's what we're inviting. There may be some things that you think are hard to let go, that when you do this enough, it's not some big deal. You know, I think of this, and I'll end with this. I always think of my first husband. You know, I was really young, so I'm really dramatic. I really wanted to keep him. I would pray to God, please God, you know? And thank God, you know, God was like, no. The answer is no, you know? But I would leave and come back and leave and come back. Everyone around me was sick of it. It's like, how many times are you going to leave him, you know? My brother, we're going to go move her out again, you know? And on the last time, I threw my stuff out the window. My sister came into the alley of my apartment. I climbed out the window, and I didn't see him for a year and a half. When I finally saw him, it was like, sign here on the dotted line. Divorce, right? Because I was just too emotionally immature and charged. Every time I talked to him, I'd get back in it. But my point was, it was like that leaf blowing in the wind. When I was truly done, it really wasn't that hard. So also then, give yourself that break. If you've been hanging on to something, it's hard this is a hard one to swallow. You're just not done yet. And love yourself for that. You know, that really works. A long time ago, my daughter was doing the exact same thing as me. She had this icky boyfriend, and she would leave him and come back. All of her friends stopped talking to her. I didn't want to talk to her about it. I said to my daughter, I don't want to hear about it anymore. Do whatever you want with him. And she looks at me and she goes, Mom, you don't get to do that. You're my mom. You're in it forever. And the reason I didn't want to be in it is because it brought back memories. It was painful. I was afraid for her because he was kind of violent. So she goes, what should I do? And then I thought about my life and I said, okay, here's what you do. You stay and you leave, and you stay and you leave, and you just don't be hard on yourself about it. You want to stay with him, you stay. You get your nerve up to leave, you leave. You go back. Just go with that. Just be nice to yourself. And don't tell any of your friends. Just be in it. And 2 weeks later, she was done. And I truly believe it's because she stopped being hard on herself. So if there's anything we want to do in this mantra, it's that cycle of change with being hard on ourselves. It's not easy to be human. Give yourself a break. And I have a couple things that I've done again and again. But I know I'm not supposed to lose hope. And I'll say to myself, I'll hug me and I say, Marcia, you get to do it as many times as you need until you're done. I'm not giving up on you. That's what this does. All right. So we'll start off with a minute all together. Then I'll say inhale, and then we do whatever we want. Then we're going to end it and do addiction meditation. Then I'll take it's time.
Can you do it not like if you're going soft, can I start soft? Can I start?
No, you have to be when they're going. So if you take one off, you don't start till.
No, the next one.
Yeah.
You gotta stay in the group.
Yes.
No running off.
No running off. And it's monotone. Sa, ta, na, ma. It's not sa, ta, na, ma. If I hear that, I'm going to stop it. That's just not what it is. It's really monotone, okay? Sit up tall. Take a deep breath. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Just feel the cycle of change. Imagine that Sata Nama reverberating out your third eye into your destiny, clearing away the path, clearing away the blocks, opening up for more energy, more light. Part of the after effects of this solar eclipse can be you really have healed a lot. You really have changed. You might be able to look around your life and notice there's a lot of things going right. So maybe the uncomfortability is about being elevated. It's about receiving a good life. Really dropping the part of us that feels we don't deserve. Or when we have good times in our life, we are also bathing in, it's going to end, the shoe's going to drop. Really let all that go and be in the sweetness of this moment. How sweet it is. Our 6 souls found ourselves today in Vista, doing this practice to heal ourselves. Feel that healing, like dropping a pebble into a still lake, the radiating energy going into your environment and the people you know and the community around you. You can even sense that the cosmos themselves are grateful for your effort. They're streaming support and wisdom to you right now. Receive it now. The last thing before a deep rest is this addiction meditation. I want you to curl your fingers into the top of your hand. You're going to put your thumbs into your temples. I want you to press firmly with the thumbs. You're going to now squeeze your jaw 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're mentally chanting with the jaw, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Every time you squeeze the back molars, that little temple moves. Keep up, chanting and moving the molars, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Patterns of our mind, the addiction to our own thoughts. This is going to help you be freer, clearer, more empowered, more energetic. So great. Inhale deep. Suspend the breath. Exhale. Inhale deep. Exhale. Inhale deep. Exhale, bring your fingers down into the mudra. Just be here for this moment. Well done. Such good work this morning. Always keep in mind what is meant for you will not pass you by. You will not have to force something that's real, genuine, and something that is meant to be. Everything always happening for us in divine right time, in divine order. If it comes, let it come. If it goes, let it go. This practice we did today opens up a space where we're not sticky. We're like a beautiful valley between two mountains, deep and gorgeous and strong. And the wind of God, the breeze of change can blow right through the center of our being, creating beauty and opportunity and change. Sa, ta, na, ma. stretch up over your head. Hug your knees into your heart. And gently rock left and right, massaging your spine on earth. Rub the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. Rock up and down, kind of seated. Put your hands into a prayer. Allow your skin to be translucent. Know yourself as a being of light. Beaming out into this amazing earth and the community of beings that live here. Come home to who you really are. In the light of your soul, you are happy and whole. Anchor your physicality, your mind, your decisions into that truth today. Look into as many windows of the soul as you can, as many eyes. Sending sa, ta, na, ma, cycle of this beautiful light. Sending that light ahead of you to clear the path, to open up the opportunities, to give you the energy to choose well, to share more, to offer even more kindness and compassion, starting right here, right now with yourself. It is good to be you. It is on purpose, everything about you, your name, where you live, your age, your tastes, your likes, your dislikes, the things that are challenging, the things that are wonderful. It's all this beautiful orchestra to wake you up to the uncompromising truth that love is always happening. Always and in all ways. Inhale deep and sigh. Ah. Let us chant the longtime sun to end our class. May the longtime sun shine upon you, and all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Yay! Thank you so much for coming and all your effort. Good job. You're welcome. See you again soon, I hope. Saturday and Sunday have limited space, even more limited than normal. So if you want to be in there, get your name in there now. I already put you in, Roger. Yeah, so.
Okay.
And then the next week it will be easier, but teacher trainings again, so there's too many of them. I didn't think that probably, how that would be when you're trying to reopen. It's just all these different things with this CDC. Did you go back to work?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good.
It was
I
good.
mean, so